You know President Trump is already cutting regulations, and in a new op-ed, our next guest says the president's assault on the so-called administrative state will be Trump's most significant contribution.
He writes, oh, sorry, that's your line.
You go ahead.
He writes, should President Trump and his legislative allies win this battle against the administrative state, the decade of economic growth, jobs, and higher wages that will surely follow will be unprecedented.
Joining us right now to discuss is Vice President for the Texas Public Policy Foundation and former California Assemblyman Chuck DeVore. Chuck, good morning to you.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Well, you know, Washington, D.C. exists to regulate all of us. So they're in the business of writing regulations, but now we got a guy with a pen who wants to undo as many as he can.
Well, that's right. And I think a lot of Americans don't appreciate the fact that over the last 55 years, the amount of regulation at the federal level has grown to about 185,000 pages with an army of 220,000 people, a lot of them lawyers, very talented people, that oversee it. 220,000 people telling us what to do.
Can you give us some examples?
Well, yes, absolutely. Look at Obamacare. So Obamacare was a very complex piece of legislation. It ran almost 1,000 pages. Well, it set in motion this effort that created a bunch of regulations to regulate several aspects of the American economy that generated over 10,000 pages of regulations. That's part of the 185,000 pages I mentioned. And the cost on our economy for all of these regulations is about $1.9 trillion a year, which is as much as we collect in income taxes on individuals and corporations.
You know, what's interesting, even though the Republicans have not gotten any wins so far legislatively, Chuck, you know, the stock market has taken off because so many business people are happy by the fact that the president has undone so many regulations already.
Well, absolutely. And if this can continue, if we can tamp down on the growth of the administrative state and the bureaucrats that regulate it, you're going to see a blossoming of the economy. And we're not even talking about tax reform and tax cuts yet. If you get both of those together, you're talking higher wages and more employment that will probably last for more than a decade.
Interesting stuff. Read all about it on foxnews.com. Chuck DeVore, we thank you very much for joining us live.
Thank you, Chuck.
Thank you.